This is Evan at Waybacks, here to do another weekly showcase game. This week's game is it needs no introduction. If no matter where you are on the globe, whether you're a boy, a girl, a man, a woman, a child, everybody knows Super Mario. Now, Super Mario Brothers, it's iconic, right? So you're not going to find anybody that has access to any sort of TV, internet, electronics. If you're not in the deepest, darkest parts of the Amazon, you know who Mario and Luigi are. The Italian plumbers, world famous. They were designed, originally it was just Mario, but he wasn't actually Mario, he was Jumpman. Jumpman was the name of the character created by Shigeru Miyamoto, and he made this character the bad guy. So his first appearance, he was the bad guy. Actually, his second appearance, he was the bad guy. First appearance was in Donkey Kong, and so Donkey Kong steals Jumpman's girlfriend, and Jumpman has to go rescue her from Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Jr., Mario is introduced as Mario for the first time instead of Jumpman, but he is the bad guy, and he has got his girlfriend back, right? And this time he kidnaps the kidnapper. He locks up Donkey Kong in a cage, and it's up to Donkey Kong Jr. to save his dad. But by the time the Donkey Kong series is over, Mario has a heart-to-heart with himself, and he decides that in the later sequels, which would be Mario Brothers, that he was going to dedicate his life for good. So in the original Donkey Kong, he was a carpenter, and so he puts down his carpentry skills, and he puts down his kidnapping skills, and he decides, I'm going to be a plumber, and I'm going to go save the sewers of New York from shell creepers and crabs and fireflies, and thusly began the Mario that we all know and love today. And so if you come to Waybacks, you can experience this whole history, right? So we have Donkey Kong on the floor, we have Mario Brothers on the floor, and then we get to where we're going with our video today, which is Super Mario Brothers. And this starts the whole side-scrolling adventure of Mario. Now, Super Mario Brothers didn't actually have what you'd call a dedicated arcade release. It was part of a ploy by Nintendo to sell their Famicom and their Nintendo Entertainment Center. What they did is they made these cabinets that would have multiple games that they would showcase that you could then go buy to play on your NES at home here in America, or your Famicom in Japan. And so it came on a few different varieties. They had the Play Choice conversion, which is a single monitor that you would put in like a Donkey Kong cabinet when your Donkey Kong quit selling so much. And you would be able to pick 10 different games that you could put on there. Or you can go with what they called the red tent model. It was a cocktail table. It's kind of shaped like a tent, and it was red, so they called it the red tent. Monitor on each side, and you could put 2 games on that on what they called a versus board, a VS board. And then they had the dedicated Play Choice 10, which was 2 monitors stacked on top of each other, and it looked like the classic Nintendo cab, but it's a little taller for the second monitor. And those would come with the 10 games that you could pick. You change out the ROM carts. And then they also had what they called a versus cab, which we have one, but we haven't put it on the floor yet. And it's kind of like a 45, right? And so you could literally have 2 players on this side, 2 players on this side. And there were a handful of games where you can actually play all 4 people against each other, like sports games. But that's where they introduced Super Mario. to American audiences. They had Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers 2, which was it was totally rebranded game in Japan. It was I forget the name of it, but pretty much they ported it over to America, and it was just reskinned with Mario characters. It doesn't really fit the genre, but it kind of does. It's weird how it works. I actually really like Super Mario Brothers 2. But anyway, so there was no dedicated Super Mario Brothers cabinet. And so here at Waybacks, we have a Donkey Kong, so you can play Jumpman. We have a Play Choice 10 dual monitor out there where you can play VS Super Mario Brothers, VS Super Mario Bros. 3. And since Super Mario is so iconic and I just love the game, I love the characters, have since I was little, it came out in 85 or 86, depending on where you were in the world and what your sources say. So Super Mario is my age, right? You know, I was born in 86. And I've been playing Mario my whole life in one form or another. And because of that, I took and made our own dedicated VS Super Mario Brothers cab. And that's what we're going to play today. There was an extra Donkey Kong that I had, and I had artwork made for it. They actually did have a marquee for Super Mario dedicated, because what you could do with your VS cab or your Play Choice 10 or whatever, you could buy the kit game, Super Mario Brothers, and it would come with a marquee and the game ROMs. Generic control panel art, generic side art. But so I did take the Super Mario marquee and have it in there, but I had a bezel made, and I did use the standard VS control panel art just because I like it. It's kind of it's the best of both worlds, right? You got a little more customization than you would typically. But anyway, let's go out there. Let's play some Super Mario Brothers, and come to Waybacks and give it a try. All right, since Mario is so iconic, it is literally the first games you see coming into the arcade. So of course, you have to start with the classic Donkey Kong, the very first appearance, the then Carpenter, Jumpman, going after Donkey Kong. And then we have our next iteration where it introduces his brother, Luigi. We have our dedicated wide body Mario Brothers cabinet. And here's our Play Choice 10. You pick your game. So you got Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3 on here. Which 3 is such a great game. It's one of the best games, in my opinion, that's ever been made. But then we come over here to my custom themed art, Super Mario Brothers, dedicated. Just because in my mind, that's where it's at. This game, it survived the crash, like the big super video game crash of 83, 84. It didn't affect Mario. So yeah, Mario in all iterations of the arcade right here. Let's get to gameplay. If you don't know how to play Mario, you must have been living under a rock. But it's such a cool game. It's hard to believe the amount of innovation that they put in from Super Mario, or from Mario to Super Mario to Super Mario 3, all basically on the same hardware as far as NES versions go. But it's pretty wild. Let's give it a try. But it's pretty simple. You got your instructions up there. Move from left and right, climb, duck, run fast and throw fireballs with one button and jump with the other. The old crude artwork. It's a far cry from where we're at now, but honestly, the artwork on Mario Brothers Original is top notch. I love that art. But let's play some Super Mario. So the thing with this game is it's set on free play. The rub being once you die on free play, you can't start over where it was. You would have to put it on coin to continue on, like we're used to in the Nintendo version or the NES version. But since we got it on free play, if we die, we got to start all the way over. It definitely takes some getting used to if you're used to playing it on NES to play it with a joystick and button. It's a whole different beast. But once you get big, you can smash your blocks. The original, you cannot go backwards on the screen. Onwards and upwards. And I timed that very poorly. Love the music on this game. It just fits perfect. Everything about this game is just perfect. And they only improved on the formula as they went along. I really can't decide if my favorite is Super Mario 3. Oh, I botched that up. Super Mario for Super Nintendo, or I really do dig the New Adventures of Super Mario Brothers on the Wii and the Wii U. But as you can see, I'm a fan of the side-scrolling Marios. Oddly enough, I probably played Mario 64 more than any of the others. But it's just something about going back to the original side-scrolling. Of course, in this one, they changed the name from Shell Creeps to Super Koopas, or Koopa Troopers, rather. Misjudged my jump there. And a die. It's been a while since I played the OG here. But we got to do this one, because this is where it all started, right? Here we are, almost 40 years later. And now I have kids that love playing Mario. I don't know that there's any other character that's been around so long and so popular as Mario. They really struck lightning in a bottle with this game. Growing up a kid in the 80s, there was just nothing better than playing Mario. Finding all the little secrets, trying to bust all the blocks you can in the amount of time you had. Well, speaking of secrets, there's one I almost missed. And I did miss. Anyway, if you get on top and run across, you got your warp world. You can go to, I think it's 4, 5, and 6. And skip clean over World 2 and 3. That's a secret they pretty much carried on with Super Mario 3. You got the whistles and whistles on and all that. It's definitely trickier playing with a joystick and buttons as opposed to a controller. I got to think and plan out a little more. At least I do. Nailed that one. So now we're at the big castle. See if we can beat Koopa. So interesting fact, these little fire blocks, they were, oh no. Anyway, they were actually designed to go into Legend of Zelda, because Shigeru Miyamoto was making The Legend of Zelda at the same time he was making Mario. Talk about a dude on his prime. And I died again. But two excellent, just iconic game characters. Doing them at the same time, it's unbelievable. And so, yeah. On free play, unfortunately, run out of time. I guess I need to rig up a coin button, take it off of free play. That way people can continue on. As you can see, this is VS Super Mario instead of just plain Jane NES Super Mario version. Anyway, guys, y'all come to Waybacks. Y'all check out all our flavors of Mario. And this ain't even all of them, right? So in our driving room over there, we have Mario Kart Arcade. Two of them linked. Very awesome racing games. One of my favorite racing games, as a matter of fact. I love anything and everything Mario. But we got Christmas time coming up, guys. Y'all, bring the family out. Y'all come see us and spend some time with basically the third member of everybody's family, Uncle Mario and Uncle Luigi. We'll catch y'all next week. If y'all have any recommendations, let us know. Like and subscribe to the channel, like the video. If I don't get any other suggestions, I think I might go ahead and do VS Super Mario Brothers 3 for our next week's, just because I'm in a Mario mood. But anyway, guys, till the next one, we'll catch y'all later.
Sir. What is it now? The Goombas are dancing again.